Welcome to the Scoreboard. I'm your host, Maddie Evans. Now we've got a show filled with the Eagle Valley Devils as they are absolutely crushing fall sports right now. And we've got a great show covering 3 different sports categories down there in Eagle. So we're going to start things off with soccer as the soccer team is making their way to the playoffs and they're really excited about it. And we had a chance to catch up with them at one of their practices to see how they feel about their next upcoming game tonight. Now we're going to talk with the volleyball team who just took an absolutely incredible win in their final game of the season before they make their way to the state championship. And so we're going to chat with them in just a little bit and see how they feel about all of it and how they're going to prepare for it. And then the cross country team had a big race that led them to states, and we're going to chat with them about how they're preparing for the big races. All of this and more here on the Scoreboard. Welcome back to the Scoreboard. The Devils soccer team is having an absolutely incredible season and they're about to make their way to states. And they're going to start that right now, and by right now I mean tonight, which is really exciting. But we had a chance to catch up with them at a practice earlier in the week to see how they're feeling about the big game. Let's hear what they have to say.
All right, I'm Joshua Escobar and I'm a senior at Eagle Valley High School.
And what sport do you play?
Soccer, boys soccer, yeah.
Awesome. And you guys just made the playoffs, right?
Yeah, we did.
What are you excited about looking forward to the playoffs?
I mean, it's the second consecutive year that the Devils have made playoffs, which is fantastic. Especially since my freshman, sophomore year, we didn't make it. It was kind of heartbreaking to see the seniors go without their playoff game or without on a good note, and getting to leave as a senior, knowing that we have that possibility to make it far, it just feels fantastic.
So you're bringing some playoff experience to the team for this round?
Yeah.
What is there, anything that you're telling the guys moving forward into the playoffs, something that you're helping the younger guys?
I think just be positive, be helpful. Don't let the word playoff or like kind of distract you or get scared. I mean, everyone gets nervous, but I feel like in the moment, have fun, play your sport, like everyone loves your sport, you're with your family, everyone has that bond, so just kind of really build a connection with the people who you're gonna spend here with the 4 years.
Awesome, so practice this week. What are you guys working on getting ready for the playoff games coming up?
Making sure we're consistent on and off the ball, defending, going up and down, making sure we man mark, we communicate, since we've had like a bit of struggles with that, I would say, but otherwise I think we just really need to communicate and stay consistent.
Seems like one of the coaches is really drilling down on positioning today in particular.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to talk about that?
I feel like we get lost or we get kind of tired, but I think otherwise, I think we're great. We just kind of, as long as we communicate with each other, we can get in a position with what we need.
So who are you guys playing this weekend?
The Classical Academy in Colorado Springs.
Awesome. Down and away there?
Yeah, away, yeah. It's a 4-hour drive.
So is there anything in particular at Classical Academy you guys are looking out for? I know they just beat your rival Battle
Mountain, yeah.
With 5 seconds left in the clock.
Yeah, number 15, I think is a big clue, but we just need to keep watching film, play our game, and I think we got it.
If you beat Classical Academy, who's next?
I haven't looked that far. I feel like kind of just stick to what's next and focus on that, and then whatever comes next will come at that time.
Take the opponents one
by one
at a time.
Yeah.
That's the experience talking, I bet.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much for your time. I'll let you get back to practice.
Sounds good. Thank you.
The Eagle Valley volleyball team had quite an impressive win on Tuesday against Fruta as they were down for the first 2 sets and they made a huge comeback. Now this is going to secure their spot in moving forward in regionals, and we had a chance to catch up with some of the seniors to see how they feel about the big upcoming game. So let's hear what they have to say.
We are here with another one of the players from the Eagle Valley Devils varsity volleyball team. Do you mind introducing yourself again?
I'm Cassandra CJ Yersak, and I'm a senior on the Eagle Valley volleyball team.
Now, we've interviewed you before, haven't we?
Yes.
So it seemed like you had quite a fan club out there today. Was that your little sister with the giant picture of you?
She's basically my little sister. She's chosen family.
Gotcha. Well, could you tell us a little bit about your friends and family who are here to support you today?
So we did a lot of inviting of people that have influenced all of our seniors' volleyball careers and their lives outside of it. So I had prior teachers, prior coaches from all my sports, and also my friends and family from all over. My cousins were here, which was awesome, and obviously my chosen family too, which is all of my super close friends. So.
Well, it seems like the team had a huge showing out in the stands today to really show off the seniors in their last home game, or at least your last regular season home game. So are you guys looking forward towards the playoffs here?
Definitely. The end of our season has been full wind, pushing towards those playoffs because we are ranked high enough that we have the possibility of hosting, which is awesome. Pushing into that, our focus has been finishing these games to see how high we can get ranked and to see how much improvements we can make, how much change we can take, those kinds of things.
Have you guys had any major focus in your practices here moving into this week towards the end of the season?
We've definitely been focusing on our serving and our reading of hitters. It's a huge part of our game. Our defense is all about trust and watching them, and our serve is such a strong suit. So continuing to work on that every opportunity we get is huge.
Moving towards the playoffs and the things, it looks like communication is really strong with the team. Is that something that the coaches really focus on with you guys?
I would say less of like it's a coaching aspect and more of us girls understanding the kind of play we each need to do, and the way that our team dynamic works. We have obviously our super vocal people and we have some quieter people, but everybody has their points where they're chiming in and everybody's communicating in their own way. We're really loud at practice too, and obviously, as you could tell by our singing of the national anthem, we all love to be heard.
That was a fantastic way to send off the team for the end of the season.
It was awesome. Maybe a little pitchy, but.
You guys are volleyball players. It's okay. Not a choir.
There's one person in choir on the team. That's about it.
It's only one though. It's okay.
Yeah.
So when you guys, when you are done with volleyball here in high school, what are you moving on to next for your volleyball
I
career?
haven't decided yet. I'm still trying to get recruited, but obviously the college is still in their season, so waiting for our season to end and their season to end, so I have a little bit more time to focus on that. I'm looking to play beach or indoor or both, but I also play basketball and lacrosse, so I got a lot to look forward to and a lot of things I could be doing. I don't know what I want to study or where I want to go yet either. But
is there anything that's really important for you when you're considering colleges?
I like certain locations are super huge to me. I'd like to experience something a little bit different than Colorado for a little bit because I've been here my whole life, but obviously I'd love to come back when I'm done, but that's about it.
Well, awesome, CJ. Thank you so much for your time. We won't keep you anymore. You have a great rest of your night.
Thank you so much.
We are here on the scoreboard with one of the players from the Eagle Valley Devils varsity volleyball team who just finished their last regular season home game. Could you introduce yourself for us?
I'm Sophie Weisberger, and I'm a senior at Eagle Valley High School.
So, Sophie, how do you feel you played?
Pretty good. It was a great game. It was like a lot of energy, especially at the end, and it was super fun.
You feel like the team did well?
Definitely. I feel like we started off at the beginning a little interesting, and then we got our stuff together and we pulled out and we finished amazingly.
Those first two sets didn't quite go your guys' way, so was there anything that you guys did to reset between those first two and the last three that you guys came out on top with?
We really focused on spot serving and spot hitting, and we especially focused on like pushing up our passes and getting our energy up.
So was there anything that you guys were like really working on in practice leading up to these games to kind of get you prepared?
We haven't been working on one specific thing. We've been trying to develop our skills overall, but we have been working a lot on serve receive and hitting spots and good serves. That's been a big focus of our season, is serving.
Do you do much serving?
I do some serving, a lot in practice.
So for those of our viewers who might not know too much about volleyball, is the serving something that's kind of position specific, or do all the players sort of rotate through that?
It depends on where you are. Some players only go front row, but a lot or almost all of our players on varsity are really great servers, and they do serve.
So as the season kind of starts winding up, you guys are looking forward towards playoffs, having a pretty good season in your league, right?
Definitely, yes.
What was your record there?
10-0. We're undefeated right now.
Awesome. Well, absolutely well done. Moving into playoffs, do you guys know anything about the playoff brackets yet?
I don't think we know anything yet, but we will soon.
Well, hopefully you guys will hear soon. You'll at least have a couple of good home games.
Yes.
So when you're done with volleyball, do you play any other sports?
I do club volleyball, so that goes through the winter and sometimes into April, May, and June. So I'll have that to look forward to after this.
When your season is totally over with high school, what are your plans for volleyball in the future?
I'm hoping to play intramural volleyball in college.
Well, awesome. Sophie, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
This has been The Scoreboard.
The Eagle Valley boys cross-country team qualified for the state races tomorrow. We had a chance to catch up with them earlier in the week to see how they're feeling about the big race. Let's hear what they have to say.
We are here on the Scoreboard with Cooper of the Eagle Valley Devils varsity track team. Can you introduce yourself a little bit for us?
Okay, I'm Cooper Fillmore. I'm a junior from Eagle Valley High School. I've been running with them since I was a freshman. Yeah, I don't know.
Perfect. Do you live here in Eagle, or are you in Gypsum?
I live in Eagle.
Awesome. So what got you started running?
The way I got into it was one of my friends basically just signed me up without knowing, and I went to a few of the practices and saw that a few of my other friends also decided to start running, and it just turned into kind of a thing within my group that, you know, we would all go for runs, and then during the season we would all run together, and I really just developed like a love for running after that.
So is that what keeps you coming back year after year to cross-country team?
Yeah, definitely my friends are like a big thing on this team for me. And just training, like, I've got a lot of new friends on the team, obviously, and like people that I haven't met before, and every year the freshmen coming in, I'm like friendly with them and try to like make conversation and stuff like that.
Well, listening to you guys talk during the warm-up, it seems like as a team you guys have a really great camaraderie. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, definitely everybody on the team is super close. You know, we all run together. The varsity, like everybody is running together every run, and we always have like great conversations talking about, you know, running, school, other things going on.
Do you find the social aspect helps motivate you during competition, or is it a little bit distracting?
Definitely during competition, I like to be by myself, but during runs, like just during practice and stuff like that, I don't like running by myself, so I prefer the team, and just running with a bunch of people is kind of boring, so it's good that we're all friends and we all talk to each other.
As the weather starts to get a little bit colder and everything, do you kind of move indoors, or do you have another sport that you start picking up, or do you just dress warmer?
I just do cross country and track. I don't do any winter sports. Like, I mean, I ski, but not for the team. I don't do any indoor stuff. All the runs I go on in the winter, mostly outdoors.
What about school? You have a favorite subject?
Pottery is pretty cool. I also am a part of the student media at Eagle Valley, so that's pretty cool.
Awesome. What do you guys do with the student media at Eagle Valley?
We have just like it's Eagle Valley Television, just an episode we put out every week, and we play it during homeroom, and so I always help put those together.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for talking to us. This has been The Scoreboard.
Yeah, awesome.
We are here in The Scoreboard with Jake of the Eagle Valley track team. Introduce yourself a little bit for us, Jake.
My name is Jake Drever. I am 17 years old. I'm a senior at Eagle Valley, obviously, and you know, running is a big hobby of mine.
So do you consider it more of a hobby or do you consider it more of a sport?
I'd say during the summer and during the off seasons, I consider it more of a hobby, where it's just get out and have fun. But once we get into the sports season, I really do consider it a sport, and I take it pretty seriously. Although I do like having fun with my friends, and it's something that I enjoy to do. Not always being serious, but yeah.
Do you have a favorite track discipline?
I gotta say the 5K is probably my favorite. I like the further up distances. It's something that I just enjoy more, and yeah.
What do you find more enjoyable about the longer distances?
Longer distances kind of gives me time to think, and my legs kind of communicate with me better over longer distances, and I'll go less like lactic, and I'll have less problems with the longer distances, and I feel like I have a better measurability with it.
Well, that's awesome. It's something that I personally was never able to figure out. I was always much more of a sprinter. So as the season kind of winds down, do you do any sort of cross training, anything like that as things get colder, or do you just kind of stick to running?
Yeah, so in the winter season, I usually do Nordic, but this season I'm starting up doing indoor track on my own and winter track. So mostly it's going to consist of running on treadmills or trying to get outside as much as I can. But obviously the weather doesn't really work well here for running outside. So it's me a lot of being the treadmill champion, but otherwise the off season's a lot of lifting and a lot of running and staying inside.
What made you make the change?
Well, I realized last season that I wasn't fit enough to compete at a higher level in track season with only doing Nordic training and doing no running, because you really do need that running base to just be able to run well. And so I think that just running over the winter is going to help me a lot more than Nordic is going to help me for track season.
Since you're a senior, looking towards track season, are you looking for any scholarships or anything as you're trying to make college?
Yeah, I'm hoping to run a Division I program. Right now I'm just talking to a couple colleges, and I haven't made an official decision, and I'm kind of just waiting to see how everything plays out. So I'm looking for money, and I'm also looking for a good team, so that's kind of just what I'm hoping for.
Is there anything else that you're considering when you're looking at colleges, like a location or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm more on the side of being on the coast. I'm not too much of a fan of the Midwest and just central United States. And I'm also, another factor that plays in is just I really don't want to be one of the top runners as a freshman. I'd like to kind of progress into a team. And so that's kind of looking for a team that I would be more towards the bottom half and kind of working into is something that I would think is a great fit for me.
Seems like you're pretty challenge-oriented as a person. Is that something you look for in your academics and the rest of your hobbies?
Yeah, I really enjoy academics, but sometimes it gets a lot for when you combine athletics and academics. So I am looking for somewhat of a rigorous thing, considering I want to be an engineer, but it's also I'm focusing primarily on sports, so something less academic would probably be a little bit helpful for schooling-wise.
Well, you totally beat me to my next question. I was going to ask you what you wanted to study.
Yeah, so mechanical engineering, I really like cars, so something along that. I'm also really like design, so maybe something on that path as well would be really helpful.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, Jake. This has been The Scoreboard.
Awesome, thank you.
We are here with The Scoreboard with Ellie, one of the Eagle Valley Devils varsity track players and the only girl to make state. Would you introduce yourself a little bit for us?
So hi, I'm Ellie Schroll. I'm a junior here at Eagle Valley High School. This is my third year running cross country with the team, and I'm having a super good time so far.
So making state, what's going to be the big challenges moving from regionals towards state?
State is a much bigger race. It's going to be quite challenging to even qualify for the top 50 for my time this year, but that's kind of what I'm looking at. Regionals was a lot smaller, but it was a battle the whole time. It was a fight through the whole thing. And state is kind of just going to be my last final push, just laying it all out on the table, and yeah.
When you say bigger, do you mean in terms of the competition pool or the distance of the race?
The distance of the race is the same. They're both 3.1 miles, but the amount of girls racing is a lot bigger than the amount of girls there were at regionals.
About how many people are competing, do you know?
Oh, I'd say around 150 to 200 would be my guess, and regionals was closer to about 120, I think.
Well, yeah, that's a big jump.
Yeah.
Big jump. So, what's it like being the only girl on the team that's qualified for the state competition? Do you find any particular challenges training with all the boys?
The boys are just funny. They just make me laugh. They're goofy, a goofy group of guys. I think it's different than being with the girls. You know, obviously my times are a lot slower than the boys, so I can't necessarily keep up with them during workouts, but they include me. I still feel like I'm part of the team, and we're having a good time so far.
When you guys are normally practicing with the whole everybody, do you guys kind of separate up a little bit, or do you kind of keep it together as a group?
I'd say it's a little bit more divided, just because the girls' times are obviously more relatively closer to each other than the guys. But team dinners and stuff like that, we still have a really good time together. We're all laughing and joking the whole time, and the team atmosphere is really cool here.
It really does seem like the team camaraderie is great. How is that when it comes to like driving the long distances for the different competitions?
Bus rides have always been super fun for our team. Even at 4 a.m., someone's blasting music, and we're all laughing, having a good time.
So as the season kind of winds down, what's next for you sports-wise? Are you going to keep running through the winter, or do you have a different winter sport that you play?
I'm probably going to do some cross-training between weightlifting and running. I actually play soccer in the spring, and I'm hoping to make varsity this year for the Eagle Valley girls soccer team. But as far as an actual sport, I'm not playing anything in the winter.
Awesome, and then you're, I imagine, planning on competing again in cross-country in your 4th year?
Yes, that's the plan.
What about academics? What's your favorite subject?
I really like reading and writing. I'm taking AP Lit right now, and it's been really fun so far. I have a great teacher. Shout out to Mr. Knight here at Eagle Valley. Yeah, reading and writing has to be my favorite subject.
Well, awesome. Great luck in the state competition coming up, and thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
Awesome. This has been The Scoreboard.
That's all the time that we have for this episode of The Scoreboard, but we want to give a huge shout out to all of the high school soccer teams that have made it to the big playoffs. Now, you can tune in on Tuesday to see some updates on those first round of games. As always, if you have any story ideas that you would like to see us bring to fruition, make sure that you reach out to us at scoreboard@tv8vail.com and check out our website for all of the local and regional content you might have missed at thescoreboardnation.com. I've been your host for this episode, Maddie Evans, and we'll see you next time right here on The Scoreboard.